So when you're taking the wheel bearing out of the old spindle, what you want to do is loosen the bolts about 1/4 inch, and then what I use a air hammer. You can use a regular hammer too. I use an air hammer with this square drive adapter, and I put my 15mm socket on there, and then you can use that to hit the bolt head without damaging the hex. So you're not going to enlarge the hex and make it hard for your socket to fit on it next time. So you can, once the bolts are 1/4 inch out, use the air hammer, and that'll slide the wheel bearing 1/4 inch out of the spindle. And then you can loosen them a little bit more, do the same thing again, and then you can use a hammer to knock it out the rest of the way. You want to make sure you don't back your bolts out too much when using this method, because you could damage the threads if there's not enough threads engaged. So when you're ready to put the wheel bearing into your new spindle, first you want to put a little bit of thread locker on the threads of the bolts. I'm going to make sure it goes completely around the full bolt. This is how GM recommends to do it. Whenever you take out a bolt that has old thread locker on it, you want to make sure you put new thread locker on it anytime you remove a bolt that has something like this. But yeah, then they recommend leaving it on there to dry for a few minutes before installing the bolt. After that, you want to put a little coating of anti-seize on the interior bore. I use Permatex copper anti-seize, and then you can put your wheel bearing in there. And then once your thread locker is somewhat dry, then you can tighten them back up, torque them to spec. It's very important that these bolts get torqued to spec, because this is a rotating assembly. If the bolts are not tightened to spec and evenly, it'll warp the bearing housing, and then you'll end up with premature bearing failure. Whenever you're tightening lug nuts or wheel bearing mounting bolts or axle nuts, it's all 5 + 1 + 3 fasteners. All 9 of these fasteners need to be torqued to spec in order to prevent premature bearing failure. It's very important. Otherwise, you'll get flex in the bearing housing, and then the race for the bearing won't be perfectly round anymore, and that's when you'll get the premature bearing failure. So before you remove the bolts for the wheel bearing, you want to put some WD-40 on the bolts that are portion of the bolts is sticking out. If there's a ton of caked on corrosion, you want to get that as clean as possible with a wire brush, because you don't want to try to pull that through the threads of the wheel bearing, or you'll ruin the threads in the wheel bearing. So get that corrosion cleaned off as much as possible. Add on some WD-40 to lubricate it just a little bit more, and then you can get started with your 15mm impact to pull them out. Once you got the new wheel bearing on the wheel bearing on the new spindle, you can snug the bolts up with a small impact, and then they get torqued to 92 foot-pounds. So when you first put the spindle in place, the order of operations is a big deal. So I'm going to tell you how I did it. That wasn't too hard. So the nut for the spindle ball joint here and the front lower control arm here, I kept in my pocket right nearby. And then what I did was I carried the whole thing over, slid the axle in to start, and then fed both of these two stems in at the same time. So all 3 of these at the same time, both of these lower joints and the axle all at once. And then just kind of lifted it up until I was able to hit the threads on both of these, and then just started both nuts on by hand. And then once you got these 3 in and the 2 nuts started, you can kind of pull up and down on this while Make sure your axle nut isn't on, because then you don't want to separate the joints here. So leave that nut off, make sure this is compressed, and then you can pull down on this, and while pushing this way with your other hand to get these two to line up. You might need to take a pry bar in here too to split it open just a little bit. While you're pushing that, have the bolt handy, and then you can slide it in there as soon as it lines up. You can also use a screwdriver. Once the two holes are somewhat overlapping, you can use a flathead screwdriver and use it to pull it the rest of the way into place. So here I just got my screwdriver in, so the holes are partially aligned. You can use this to pull it centered, and then you can put your bolt into the other side. So once you got your bolt through, you can start the nut and then just leave it. You do not want to tighten this until the car is sitting with the suspension at ride height. So once we got all this bolted together, we can lower the car close to the ground, put a floor jack under here, and lift up the suspension until the hub is right about where the wheel sits when it's driving. That's when you want to tighten this and torque it. So after that's in place, you can slide this on, and then we're going to get this in place. So you can pull this. You might need to put your floor jack under here because right now you're fighting the force of the spring and the force of the bushings. So this is going to be really hard to get together. You can use a pull jack or a floor jack under the knuckle to get these to come up and meet. And then just start that nut, and then you can put the tie rod through here. You can torque the nuts on the bottom, these two joints down here, and then you can torque the nut on your axle. This nut is going to be the first nut you want to torque, and you want to torque it as soon as possible, because it's going to be really hard to get your torque wrench in there once all this is bolted in place. So all I have is these two joints with the nut started. I have this bolt in place, and that's it. So the knuckle is released from the top still. So these two down here are going to be 30 foot-pounds plus 120 degrees. And that's where we're going to start. The top nut is going to be 74 foot-pounds, and then after that the tie rod is going to be 26 foot-pounds plus 85 degrees. After you get all the brakes back together, we just have the axle nut here. Torque spec is 111 foot-pounds, and then you got to loosen it about 45 degrees, so about 1/8 of a turn, about that far, and then you got to retighten it to 199. So I usually stick a hex in there through the brake rotor against the caliper to keep the wheel from spinning while I torque it. It's very important to torque this to spec, or your wheel bearing will go out. If it's too loose, your wheel bearing will fall apart. If it's too tight, your wheel bearing will wear out prematurely.